afternoon and it's a damp afternoon, but this is good because it means that we're having water coming down on the ground. If you look here, this is our, I just did this, I was there yesterday, and as you can see, our wheelie bin is already filled with water, which is really good and really bad because we've not actually drilled a hole for the outflow pipe, so we're going to have to empty that. However, proof of concept does work. We're now going to go up and have a look at the water tank to see if it's filling up. Let's go and find out.
I like your bark though. Thank you, thank you. It's filled up a little bit.
Filling. Is it though?
Should I go down?
Is the seal still there? Where did the seal go for the drain?
It's on there.
Is it?
No, that's the replacement. Thomas is going to go in with his bags on his feet. It's possible that I should try and stop him, but
Yeah, you can hear it.
you know,
Yes, it's still.
be very careful on that ladder, okay? Please, I don't think I'm going to be able to rescue you. Well, I mean, I would obviously, but
Yeah, it's dripping very, very slowly. There's more water dripping off the ceiling of the tank, like the roof of the tank,
right.
than there is coming out of the pipe.
Thomas, I think your bin bag's got a hole in it.
I think so too.
Right, I need someone up here and someone down there. Yeah, they will be. They'll be scared of. Well, I'd say that, but just a bit further up, a bit further out. Catch up, go forward. I think we'll close the gate. There we go. It's a waste of water, but it's not like there's a drought going at the minute. This is our hole for the outflow pipe going into the toilet, so we need to drill a couple of holes. And unfortunately, we know it works, so it's going to refill. Drilled holes in the wheelie bin and in the blue barrel, and Thomas and George are currently just putting some silicone and some PTFE tape around the fitments for the pipe. So we're going to have an equalising pipe between these two, which will keep the level in each the same. We're also going to put a spigot on the outside so that we can have water outside, and then we'll have another pipe coming out into the back of the toilet block to feed the cisterns. It looks like the tank up the hill isn't filling, so that's going to require more attention, but these fill really quickly. It filled overnight. The wheelie bin filled completely overnight, and if these are both full, I think that's going to be good for a week's worth of toilet flushes. If it's not, we can top them up from the river, which sounds barbaric, but we're hardcore, so you know, hardcore. I mean, Thomas has got bin bags on his feet, so yeah. Yesterday I put up a wee Instagram reel and I hinted at issues with funding that we are kind of experiencing, and I said I'd go into a wee bit more detail about that. Now this is a wee bit involved, so bear with me, it's possibly even a bit boring, but it's really important because it hinges on whether or not we can complete the project or not. So a little bit of history first and who people are. So the stakeholders who are involved in the Towford Outdoor Centre renovation are us, and we're called Gosford Bay Outdoors. We're a SCIO, so we're an independent charity, and we formed specifically for the purpose of renovating Towford, with a side show of getting young folk involved and all that. Other stakeholders are Scottish Borders Council, who sublet Towford Outdoor Centre to Gosford Bay Outdoors on behalf of the third set of stakeholders, who are Roxbury Estate, who own the building. Are you with me so far? There's another involved party that's in the background, that's kind of silent, and they are, depending on how you look at it, the Craigvenine Outdoor Centre Trust and VCEL. Now, the Craigvenine Outdoor Centre Trust is the organisation that used to run Towford back in the day. It is they who signed the original lease for this building when it closed down as an outdoor centre run by the council. Okay, so far. Now, Craigvenine folded, more or less, not officially, but it kind of stopped working. I think all the trustees retired, moved on in about 2004, 2005, and the Craigvenine Outdoor Centre Trust became the responsibility of VCEL. Now, Volunteer Council East Lothian, VCEL, has gone by many names. It used to be called VDEL, it used to be called Strive, but they now control the Craigvenine Outdoor Centre Trust. Now, the Craigvenine Outdoor Centre Trust doesn't actually do anything, it's just a paper entity, if you like, and it still is the leaseholder for this place, but it also used to own a purpose-built outdoor centre in Strathire in the Trossachs. This is called Lubnig Cottage, and there was an old outdoor centre, and they actually, the Craigvenine Outdoor Centre Trust, that is, got quite a large lottery grant to build a purpose-built outdoor centre. They've just sold that for upwards of 340,000 quid. Now, it was for sale for 340,000, but this is Scotland, so it probably went for a lot more than that. I'm going to stop now to let you absorb all that information, and then we'll come back to it in a wee minute.
George, what are you on about?
George, just get in the barrel.
It's just so.
Shouldn't crack, he says. Maybe? I don't know. If it cracks, I'll probably get away with the glue bin.
Huh?
There ain't no looking.
I wanted to just continue with the boring chit chat, because it's important that people know there's a lot of admin that goes in the back, and it's not just down here mowing, strimming, building, tidying up. There's a lot of admin that I do during the week just to keep things ticking over. So you've got all the gen there, all the information about the main players and the stakeholders, and now I want to talk about the option to lease. We don't have a lease for this property. We've got an option to lease. We don't actually have any official standing in terms of anything we're doing here at all. The only, ironically, although the Craigvenine Outdoor Centre Trust abandoned this place in 2005, they're still the leaseholders. That's actually really important to remember, so I'm going to say that again. The Craigvenine Outdoor Centre Trust, under the management of VCEL or VDEL or Strive or whatever they were called, abandoned this place in 2005 and let it fall into disrepair. It wasn't us, it wasn't the council, it wasn't Roxburgh. They did that, and that should be remembered. The reason I say that is because Gosford Bay Outdoors has no official standing on this property at the moment. The option to lease that we have is just that, it's an option to lease. All the option to lease does is guarantee that Roxburgh Estate and Scottish Borders Council won't give this place to someone else or another organisation for the duration of the option to lease, which is 3 years. So that's a guarantee for us, for Gosford Bay Outdoors. It means that if we're doing all this work, getting all this stuff put in place, Roxburgh or Scottish Borders Council won't turn around in a year's time and say, actually, off you go, we're giving it to someone else. On the flip side, the guarantees that it gives to Roxburgh and Scottish Borders Council, and this is the bit that's a bit iffy for us, is that it gives us 3 years to raise the money to do a certain amount of work on the property. Basically, it guarantees them, Scottish Borders Council and Roxburgh Estates, that we will renovate the property. I think they were worried that another organisation would come in and not do anything. We might camp, we might do stuff on the grounds, but we wouldn't do anything with the building. And the longer the building's left, the more likely it would be that it would just fall down and that it would never be repaired. We had to email the Craigvenine Outdoor Centre, or VCEL, and ask for permission to use the grounds, to do activities on the grounds, even though they abandoned it 20 years ago. It's such a bizarre situation. I'm going to pause there to let all of that sink in, and we're going to go back in and see what they're doing. If you go backwards and it weighs a track, that's totally fine. I mean, it doesn't need to be perfect.
George twisted it the wrong way. A bit quicker, come on, I've done that bit.
That's even worse than what I would do, to be fair. So yeah, it doesn't.
Well, maybe
And
don't
I'll-
put this on the YouTube video.
I mean,
Right.
that's basically all. When I renovated the Scout Hall toilets, that's what everything looked like. There you go.
Right.
Good job.
What's in here?
I think you've got a stud. Keep going. Okay, back off just now. We'll need to. What's happened is you obviously there's like wood, a framework, and I think we've hit a stud, which is like one of the chances that's really annoying because, and it's probably your fault.
Well, how?
You should have checked, man. You should have checked.
If you use the stud for
Maybe it wasn't your fault. Maybe it was.
No.
Maybe it was George's fault.
It was
George,
George's fault.
George, did you not?
No.
You could have said something.
Oh.
Get in now. Let's go.
Hey, there we go. Good job. My cheers now. That's going to be really embarrassing.
What?
And embarrassing. Just push it through. Give it a poke. There we go.
Oh, now it's just.
Right.
Welcome back to OnlyFans.
Steady. Get edit that out. So we're done. We're finished. Well, I say we're finished. It's very grey. It's very grey. You might not be able to see that, but as you can see, our tank system is complete, and these guys were really good today. They did a lot of work, and maybe learnt a wee bit about how not to do plumbing, because there's a lot of sketchy plumbing going on there. But the thing is, it's not like mains pressure, it's just the water coming out of these, so it's not going to explode or anything. So we have our drain pipe going into our wheelie bin, and then we've got the blue tank up as well. This wheelie bin, well, you saw that, it was full when we arrived, so it's empty now, but it's filling up even as we speak. We have an equalising pipe between the two. I think that'll work. It's not what you would choose to do, it's only temporary, but I think that'll work. And we've also put a tap on the bottom of the blue bin there, just so that we've got a supply of water here. And also we found a spare fitment thing, and George found that. And there's actually a ton of spares in there. I just went and spent a fortune in B&Q, and the place is like rammed with speed fit stuff. It always happens that way. So yeah, so our water goes into here from the roof. We've got our equalising pipe in between the two. We have our spigot there. My hand's going the wrong way. And then we've got our pipe coming out here and wending its way into the back of the toilet. And then yes, now that's not a standard build, but it's temporary. So we've tie wrapped it where necessary. And we've also put a stopcock in just in case. I think it's a good idea to it's usually a good idea to put a stopcock in just in case you need to do any like maintenance inside. And we'll go inside now and have a look in there, because that's even more of a dog's dinner. The lighting in here isn't great, so Thomas drilled a hole in the wall. This whole lean-to toilet area is going to come down because it's totally rotten. Thomas has still got the bags on his feet. I think he's trying to start a new trend, but they're not even Jenner's bags. They're just like,
The records bags, actually.
they're just bags. So down here we have, I don't know if you can see that. We have, so we cut the 15mm pipe and put a T-piece in, and all that rigmarole on the top of it is because we ran out of 22mm elbow joint. So I've used a 22mm T-piece, a wee bit of PEX, and then I've put a stopper on it. So it's essentially an elbow joint. And the idea is that this now feeds this whole system. That's the plan. So we're going to go away now, but it's raining kind of now, but we're going to probably try and come back tomorrow night and see if it works. But we're going to leave that stopcock shut there just in case, because I need to do a final wee bit of chit chat about what I was talking about earlier with the admin, and I'll do that now. We fully intend to renovate this building. We wouldn't have got involved if we weren't going to do that, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we have literally created a charity from scratch, open bank accounts. We've been down since 2019, been maintaining the grounds, making it look less abandoned so that it doesn't get burnt down, because that was kind of looked like it was going to be happening. We did say to Scottish Borders Council and Roxburgh Estates that if you don't have a lease for a building, it is very difficult to raise money to renovate that building. The first thing any funder asks is, have you got a lease? And what we're saying is, no, we've got an option to lease. That's what we've got. I thought that was something that people would recognise. Well, they don't. Every single funder that we've talked to about the renovation have said, an option to lease, what's that? And I've had to explain that it gives assurances to us and to Borders Council, the stakeholders, blah, 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 that we're going to renovate and they're not going to give it to someone else. And I must admit, at the time, it never occurred to me what kind of message that might send to potential funders. Now, if the people that own the building and the people that sublet the building, if they were seeking assurances that we would renovate the building, hence the option to lease, what does that say to funders? It says that maybe we weren't, or maybe we had other plans, or maybe we were some sort of, I don't know, money laundering scam. I don't know, but it sends a really unfortunate message. And what's happening now is we're raising money to pay for the development costs. So we're trying to get drawings generated, 3D renderings. We're trying to get to do feasibility studies for all sorts of things like getting solar panels on the roof. And they're saying, well, what about the renovation? Have you got a lease? And we're saying, no, we don't have a lease. We've got an option to lease. And they're saying, oof. The feedback that we're getting is that they're not going to fund a project to renovate a building if we don't have a lease for the building. So where are we now? We're going to continue. We've got 3 years, but I think we're going to try. I think we've got no choice but to renegotiate the option to lease. The irony of this is we had to ask permission from the Craigvenean Outdoor Centre Trust to do the stuff we've been doing here. Now, Craigvenean, as I said already, it basically stopped operating 20 years ago. It's just a paper entity just now. It just doesn't really make any sense. And I know that any funders that are watching this will go, that sounds like a really terrible situation. And it kind of is. But like I said, and I'll say it again, we fully intend to renovate this place. We're not going to take it on and not do anything with it. The point is to get it back into use as an outdoor centre so that young people can come down, be in the outdoors and all that shiny stuff that we all know is a positive thing. Heck, there's no mobile phone signal here. They wouldn't even be able to look at their screens, and that's got to be a good thing. So we need to renegotiate the option to lease. Currently, what we're doing doesn't really make any sense, and we said that it wouldn't work, and it's kind of proven that it's not working because these funders are saying, "Where's your lease?" That's what they're saying. What is going to work is our rainwater collection system. And when we come back through the week to check it and we turn it on and the toilets fill with the cheerful burble of collected rainwater and they flush perfectly, everything will change. Funders will find out about this via this video and they'll go, those people are obviously serious about the renovation, and they will give us tens of thousands of pounds. I think so. Right, okay. That's it. That's all there is. Thanks for watching. Good job.